Hi there, Michael Bovee with Consumer Recovery Network, and thanks for tuning into our DebtBytes channel. We're going to talk today about dealing with one of the larger debt collection agencies in the country by way of United Recovery Services. And then they have a couple of smaller companies that are part of their brand as well. But URS is a contingency debt collector. And let me explain what I mean by that. When it comes to them collecting on bills that you owe, say a credit card, for example, they are going to be reaching out to you by telephone and through collection notices in the mail that are designed to get you to respond to pay them something. If they are able to get you to pay them something or pay your creditor, they're going to be able to keep a portion of that. So their success or them being able to get paid anything is sometimes, and often anyway, going to be contingent upon getting you to pay. So in a weird way, when you're dealing with collection accounts that you are wanting to resolve, not that you're trying to avoid. If you're watching this video and or even anything on the DebtBytes channel for that matter where you're trying to avoid debt, not many of our videos focus on that. We focus on, okay, what can I do to resolve my bills, right? So when your goal is to reach some kind of resolution, you can actually look at URS and kind of shift it. It's like, well, wait a minute, they don't get paid unless they get me to pay. So they're kind of part of your solution. They're not part of the problem. So if you think about it that way, or you're approaching it with a realistic concept of what you can afford and what you can get them to accept, then you're going to find success. URS is actually probably one of the easiest debt collection agencies of its size to deal with. I worked with URS over the years resolving consumer debt, but we're mostly known for being a DIY educational resource at Consumer Recovery Network. So we've coached people through and advised people through the negotiation process with URS in the thousands, okay? And throughout that entire process, it is not common at all to have somebody come back to me and tell me, or any of the counselors over the years, that they had a problem communicating with URS. You shouldn't have any problems that way. Here's what I can share with you as far as goals. So URS will collect differently for different creditors that they're working on. Okay, so I was doing a file with Alltran, US Bank, and it was a business account, and the business folded, and the individual at issue, the account holder, had some other things that were positively showing on his credit. And because of that, it became more complicated for me to get the amount or the targeted savings that I wanted to get when negotiating that balance. So take that and apply it to your situation. Do you look like somebody whose a grenade blew up on your credit report, shrapnel flew everywhere, and it's in shambles? You look less collectible, okay? Or do you look like somebody who's just hit a bump in the road and is back on track and, doing just fine? You look like somebody that can afford to pay more, okay? Maybe not in a lump sum, but they're not always looking to get money from you in one payment. That's often not even possible for most people. But they're thinking, what can we collect from this person over time? And if you've got a mortgage that you're paying and it shows on your credit report, they have real-time access to view that. And you have a car payment. Those two things, if you're keeping those current, then you have something on the ball. You have some kind of consistent income coming in every month to maintain those two accounts. If you add in that you're paying a couple of other credit cards, and just not the one that they're collecting on, but they're being kept current on your credit, you look largely like somebody who it was a momentary or a temporary kind of setback, and that they should be able to get you to pay as much as all of your debt. And if they were to discount it, it wouldn't be by much. So now I'm going to back this out a second. That's what they can see from resources available to them. Like I said, your credit report is one of the main resources that they have. What they don't have is sometimes the fact that, no, you're still laid off, you're not working, you're blowing through savings and have come through all of your savings to keep all those things current. You were just trying to hang on, and you're hanging on by a thread. Maybe they don't know that credit card that is being kept current is because your cousin borrowed your card to use for whatever, he needed the money, and he's the one that's actually keeping that account current. They don't know the things and the hardships that you might be experiencing, and you can share those things with them that will help offset some of how they picture you or how collectible they see you if you're not speaking to them. So sometimes it's of great import to share with them details about your personal situation that can help lower what their expectations are going to be or the amount that they're going to hold out for to try and collect from you when you negotiate a settlement with them. Having said that, do not share things with them that give them even more fuel or more of an indication that you can pay and they should hold out for all the money. When you're in touch with debt collectors like URS, they have already built a picture or a collectability score based on the stuff that they can see about you, your credit report maybe. If you can share with them things that make it tough to be you financially that they can't see, like the fact that you're still unemployed, like the fact that your savings you've blown through and that's why you were able to keep the mortgage current, now you can't. In fact, your settlement amount, if you're able to do it or reach that level, is actually going to be money that you borrow from your mom or a brother or a sister or a family member, friend. So when you are able to communicate with them clearly about your hardships and they support your asking them for a better reduction, great. If you are unable to communicate hardships that are consistent with them taking as little as possible and you saving as much as you can, sometimes you shouldn't have as much dialogue with them. In fact, sometimes it's better to work with a professional if you're unable to communicate clearly why it is that you need their client. It's not their decision. They have some collection goals. They have authorization to do certain things and there's certain floors they can't go underneath or that they're just not going to budge from because you have to give them a reason to. So be aware that URS is really easy to communicate with, but giving you targets, okay, fine. If they're collecting for, say, Chase, I might think 30, 35%, 40%. Same thing I would say with Chase, right? If they're collecting for B of A or other creditors, their variables are going to change as to what they can do and how low they're going to go. So be sure and communicate with me in the comments if you have questions, comments, concerns, anything about dealing with United Recovery Services. And you can reach us at the toll-free number, our hotline. I'm at option 2 if you want to talk a little bit more about strategy and how you can resolve debt with URS. See you on the next video.